My name is Mac, and I'm the sales coordinator at Storyvine. I went to school for animal ecology and forestry, so have a science background, and today I would like to talk to you about bats, because today is Bat Appreciation Day. Did you know bats are super important for keeping our ecosystem balanced? Bats are the third largest group of mammals, and they are the first most diverse. This means that almost any pathogen or virus out there can be traced back to a bat at some point. This also means that they have many adaptations that humans don't for dealing with viruses. Bats are the only mammal that can fly, so when they fly, they expel a bunch of energy, which causes a heat spike in their body that mimics a fever. Viruses like coronavirus have actually learned to adapt to this heat spike in bats, while in humans they haven't, and this makes bats a great continual host for coronavirus and other viruses. So, did bats give us coronavirus? The answer is possibly. Bats are a possible source of coronavirus, but they are not to blame for the transfer or spread of coronavirus. Surprise, humans are. So how did coronavirus get from a bat to me? Great question. If you were to take coronavirus straight from a bat and stick it in a human, it probably wouldn't take. Why? There's these things called spike proteins. Spike proteins, viruses like coronavirus need the spike protein to infect a cell. The protein binds primarily to a receptor called ACE2 on the surface of human cells. The virus can then fuse with cell membrane and release its genetic material into the human cell. So the coronavirus in bats doesn't have enough receptor binding proteins to make it attached to human cells. So then how did it transfer from bats to humans? Do you guys know what pangolins are? Pangolins interact with bats in the wild. They are also one of the most illegally trafficked animals in the world, behind rhinos. They are trafficked for their meat and their scales. While they do interact with bats in the wild, they also interact with bats in these places called wet markets. What's a wet market? Another great question. This is where wild animals are held captive together and sold as delicacies or as pets. This is likely an epicenter of the virus in China. It is also a terrifying mix of viruses and species that can occur in these wet markets. Bats and most other mammals, when they're stressed, will shed off more pathogens that it would have otherwise been able to cope with, kind of like humans and colds. In these wet markets, animals are often stacked on top of one of each other in cages and extremely stressed out, which causes a lower immune response, but also it causes more shedding and more spreading of the pathogens from cage to cage, as in the case of bats and pangolins. Now remember our spike protein? Pangolins are a great intermediate host for viruses like coronavirus. They actually pick up more of those spike proteins, and they are then able to shed those proteins, and those proteins can then attach to human cells. So let's review. Bats, pangolins, humans. A possible pathway for coronavirus through wet markets in China. So, rare instances of zoonotic, human or animal to human spillover can turn into a global problem within weeks. Any spillover that you may have had before is magnified by the fact that all of us are so connected. So it's the way that humans actually interact with our planet that has led to the pandemic spread of pathogens like coronavirus. Some of those interactions with our planet would be deforestation, which is habitat loss, wet markets, where animals are interacting that normally wouldn't. And third is the illegal wildlife trafficking. This causes stress on animal populations and species decline. Bats are so important to our ecosystem because they play a huge role in agriculture pest control. They actually create fertilizer for farmers, and they are pollinators just like bees and butterflies. The ultimate lesson is that the damage to our planet can also be damage to people more quickly and severely than the generational gradual shifts of climate change. So this is why we celebrate Bat Appreciation Day, a day just for our furry little pest controlling, pollinating winged friends.